Hey everybody, Mr. Reen here, and today we're going to be looking to explore Sherman's claim and looking to see whether or not individuals will reproduce and have offspring that have that adaptive trait they need to survive, or if Sherman is completely off and wrong. And we're going to do that by looking at observing different australopes and what's going on in our sim to see whether or not we can support or refute that claim. So today we're going to be looking at two important things. One is how to set up and run a sim so we can observe different australopes and see if that claim is true. And we're going to be looking to record some reproduction observations and data in a data table, again, to help support this idea or refute the idea that Sherman came up with. So in our next task, you're going to see we have our data table that has three different parts. The three parts are the australopes followed with the non-adaptive trait. So we're going to be following two australopes that have a non-adaptive trait in terms of their fur color. So that would be any australope with fur color not 7. And we're going to look to see how they reproduce and the offspring they create and what fur colors are involved with that. We're then going to follow two different australopes with trait number 7. So that's the adaptive trait. And again, we're going to see if they reproduce with offspring and how that works. So when you dive into the sim, you're going to go into the mode here. Click on reproduction claim. You're going to start that up and you're going to run the sim. And when you run the sim, you're going to be following different australopes. So you're going to have to kind of pick and choose which ones you follow. But as you click on the different australopes, you'll see on the side here, it shows you their trait color in terms of trait color in terms of their numbers. This is 8. So this is a non-adaptive trait. And then what they're doing, looking for food. If you click on others, you'll see what they're doing. So looking for food, each one kind of doing their own thing with different colors. Some of them, as you go through here, might show that they're looking for reproduction, if you can find that one, okay? Or might be reproducing depending on how you run the sim. But as you run it, you're going to follow 2 with adaptive traits and 2 with non-adaptive traits. Now, you'll know they're reproducing because you'll see them do this little hug that they do. So here we have color trait number 7, and they're found a mate that has color trait number 7. So if I was to use this as our observations, I'd go into australopes followed with adaptive traits. So one had 7, the other had 7. Now I just need to see what their offspring has. I'm going to run and pause. Once we have their offspring, I'm going to click on their offspring and I see, oh, they have color trait 7 as well. So I would put 7 in here. And then I'm going to go and find some new australopes to follow. Again, looking to find australopes that have the adaptive traits, 2 of them and 2 without. So for example, if I click over here, I have 2 australopes with color trait 1 and color trait 1. So they're looking to reproduce. So I can obviously go into my data table here, and one of them is without it. So that's 1. There's another that has trait number 1. And I'd have to play the sim to see what kind of offspring they create, and I would record that. So I would be following 2 australopes with adaptive traits, 2 without, recording the fur color for both sets of parents and their offspring, and looking to see whether or not Sherman's claim is true. Does our individuals reproduce and create offspring with that adaptive trait for the environment? So take a second. Do we understand how to run the sim and how to make our observations for the data table? If so, put your X in green. If there's any questions or anyone who put their X in yellow and red, please reach out and good luck.